Hello my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing the brand new Drunk Elephant E-Rase Milky Micellar Water, and I'm also going to be comparing it to an old classic of Bioderma's micellar water. So there are two reasons why I'm really excited to be making today's video. So first up, I actually have to be honest with you guys. I know there's a lot of controversy around Drunk Elephant, but strictly in terms of my own results using the brand, it's been pretty good. I've had great results with Drunk Elephant's products, and I was really curious when I saw that they were releasing a micellar water, as that's a product that I absolutely love, have sworn by for years. I mean, the most recent time I talked about my love for micellar water on this channel was 1 week ago. I just cannot stop talking about how much micellar water helps me out, and this idea of a milky micellar water really appealed to me. So of course I bought it, and I wanted to compare it directly to the Bioderma line because I've tried all of the Bioderma micellar waters at this point. I feel like probably most of you have. If you haven't, the Garnier micellar waters are very, very similar. The main difference I've noticed is that more people seem to break out from Garnier's, and yet more people are able to use the Bioderma. The reason I like to do these versus types of videos is I feel like if you are familiar with the product, that can give you a good anchor for everything I'm talking about with the newer product. So anyway, my goal for today's video is to share with you my experience so far with the Drunk Elephant product, talk about the ingredients, talk about how it compares to Bioderma, and give you some demos of me using it the way I usually use it, and then also removing makeup with it. So let's start this video off with a conversation about what the heck is micellar water anyway. You know, I have to say, when I read the incoming reviews on the Sephora website for this Drunk Elephant micellar water, I am so surprised at the way that people are using micellar water, because my reason for using it is completely different and my results are probably completely different. So micellar water was originally developed in France because an issue existed in France, and that was that the water was very hard, and continuously washing with this hard water was giving people some problems. So what micellar water is supposed to be is these little micelles that attach to any dirt or makeup that you have on your skin and dissolve it. Ultimately, this does mean that you could use micellar water to remove your makeup, but it also means that you could use micellar water as a substitute for the water from your sink. And that is exactly how I have used micellar water and how I've fallen in love with it. You know, about, I guess, 3 years ago at this point, I really came to this revelation that a lot of the problems with my skin could be a result of the water in my area. And I know I've talked about this before, but just to recap really quickly. So I used to work as a hair model. Why my hair is so fried, by the way. And consistently, when these hairstylists would fly in to our area, they would have so many problems bleaching and dyeing the model's hair. And it finally connected for me one day that, oh, it's because of our water supply. And at this time, I'd been dealing with some pretty bad cystic acne that absolutely did get worse when I moved to this area. I'm originally from Florida. When I moved here, oh, my skin got so much worse. So what I started doing was using just micellar water in the mornings to give my skin a quick cleanse, and that was truly a tremendous change for me in terms of my cystic acne. That was the first thing that I had done in years that was really making a difference for my skin. And I've stuck with it. To this day, I still use micellar water at least 3 times a week just to give my skin a break from whatever's up with the water in my area. And these years of using micellar water has taught me a couple of things to look for in my micellar water, but to be honest with you, before the Drunk Elephant one, it was also kind of a more simplified look at micellar water. But just so you have some context of everything I've tried in comparison, I have tried the Garnier. This is the only one I have left because it's the only one I don't love. There's no reason for me to be using waterproof the way that I use micellar water. I've tried all of the Biodermas out there, and the pink one is the one that I would recommend the most, as that one is completely fragrance-free, although there are some benefits to to these. The blue lid has niacinamide in it, for example. And I've also learned not to buy micellar waters that are loaded with essential oil ingredients as well as fragrance, especially that combination. So this one that I have here, I now use to clean my lashes, which is a third potential use for micellar water. Has really been game-changing for me and extending the life of my lashes, by the way. But yeah, this one won't touch my face anymore. Now, the thing about all of the micellar waters that I just showed is that they are all affordable, drugstore range skincare products, except for, ironically, the one that I can't use because life's a comedy, I think. At least mine is, but Drunk Elephant's micellar water is $28 for 8 ounces, which is almost 3 times the price of the Bioderma. So what makes this one so pricey? I'll read to you the description of this micellar water and then I'll give further comments on the ingredients. So they say, ceramide-rich E-Rase milky micellar water is formulated to thoroughly and gently remove makeup, dirt, pollution, and bacteria from the face and eye area without sensitization, irritation, or stripping skin's acid mantle. Made with ultra-mild micelles, soothing vitamin E, replenishing fatty acids, and antioxidant-rich, non-fragrant plant oils, E-Rase nourishes skin while dissolving and lifting away makeup and dirt, is barrier supportive, and may be used anytime you need a quick skin refreshment. E-Rase is gentle enough to be used all over, including around the eye area and lips, to remove makeup before, after, or in place of your nighttime cleanse, and is formulated at a pH of 5.0. Now, the very first thing that stood out to me with using the Drunk Elephant micellar water is that it is truly a very different texture from all of the micellar waters that I've ever tried in my life. This one truly is a much more milky texture, and there's a tremendous benefit to that, especially if you are using cotton pads. When you pour most of the other micellar waters onto a cotton pad, the cotton pad absorbs a lot of that micellar water, so you're just kind of not using it, you're throwing it away in that cotton pad. However, with Drunk Elephants, it doesn't absorb into that cotton pad. Instead, it absorbs into your skin. So I think that's one way that you could say the price maybe is a little validated, but the other part of that is going to come down to the ingredients list themselves. And with this being Drunk Elephant, of course, this is a fragrance-free product. They have also avoided all fragrant plant oils. I see a lot of conversations on the topic of fragrance versus natural fragrance. Is that okay? Well, ultimately, the bottom line with fragrance, and the reason it is irritating for some people, is the fragrance itself. Whether that is from a natural or a chemical source, it can just be too much on certain skin types or too much in certain quantities. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put the entire ingredients list up on the screen just so there's less for you to have to scroll and find. But I also want to highlight some of my favorite parts of the ingredients. So looking at Drunk Elephant's ingredients list, the first thing I notice is marula, baobab, and sweet almond oils, which are all excellent for dry skin. Just seeing those 3 oils together, I was thinking in my head, oh, this is probably going to be excellent for dry skin. Manketti oil, watermelon seed oil, all good carrier oils. None of these are fragrant, exactly like Drunk Elephant was saying in their description of the product. And then ceramides, which of course are very helpful for the skin barrier. So if you are experiencing any type of skin sensitivity, something like ceramides and good carrier oils is going to be an excellent choice. Now, taking into account what I just said about all of the oils that are in this, the ceramide content, the milky texture that I described earlier, I do want you to know that using this does actually feel different than using the Bioderma micellar water. In fact, this feels almost more emollient on the skin. I was reading some of the other Sephora reviews, and I did see people saying that they felt the Drunk Elephant was leaving a film on their skin. I just want to be clear here that I don't feel it is a film. To me, it just reminds me of a milky toner, a milky serum. Oils do have a certain feel on the skin, but to me, perhaps as a dry-skinned person, it doesn't feel like a film on my skin. Now, on the other hand, with the Bioderma micellar waters, some people have said that as well. Some people have said they do feel a film on their skin, and in fact, with all micellar water, there are some people who are proponents of washing or rinsing your face with regular water after you use it. However, in a strict comparative way, I do feel the oils with the Drunk Elephant and I don't with the Bioderma micellar water. So let's spend some time talking about the Bioderma micellar water's ingredients. I think for this, I'll put the pink bottle up on the screen since, again, that's the one most people are familiar with. So we do have a completely fragrance-free formula here. We do have absolutely no essential oil ingredients. But if you look at this ingredients list, there's also not very much else going on. Of course, you do have the micellar technology here, but you don't have any of those ceramides, you don't have those hydrating oils, you do have a little bit of cucumber in there, but that's basically it. And the thing is, I think that that's going to be absolutely fine for some people. And to kind of jump ahead a bit in terms of my final thoughts here, I do think that it's possible that this simple ingredients list could be the better choice for people with oily skin. And to give you guys some further comparison, so Drunk Elephant's is at a pH of 5 and Bioderma's is at a pH of 6, both of which are very good as your skin typically sits at a pH of around 5.5. In addition to that, Drunk Elephant's $28 for 8 ounces, as previously mentioned, whereas Bioderma's is $9.90 for 8.3 ounces. Before I give you guys my final thoughts on these two products and whether I think the Drunk Elephant is worth it, I do want to go ahead and give you a comparison of using both of these to remove my makeup. Just so you know, you're about to see a voiceover here because I don't yet know how this is going to go. I'm going to take this makeup off, which I aimed for moderate makeup today. You guys have seen some of my makeup looks on this channel. When I'm wearing bright purple, bright neon pink eyeshadow, I would absolutely never reach for micellar water as it's just not going to remove the makeup, but we'll give these a try today. So I'm starting with the Bioderma, just kind of take it on my pad and hold it up to my eye area before I wipe the eye makeup away. It was working just fine. A little bit of trouble here, but I always struggle with the eyeliner under my eye. No idea why. That's the hardest to remove. But yeah, everything else, my foundation came off no problem. And there's the results of the Bioderma side in the Power of Makeup style. You guys remember that? Moving on to the Drunk Elephant side, it worked just fine, but it did feel strange because it's so thick. I kind of felt like I was going to get it into my eyes. I didn't. It just felt like I was going to. One strange thing that did happen is my eyeliner got stuck in the pad and I kept moving it around my face. See it on my nose there and on my cheek. But surprisingly, if you take a look at my results, the Drunk Elephant side actually worked better than the Bioderma, which left some eyeshadow. Final thoughts, wrap up. Is this new Drunk Elephant micellar water worth it? The first thing I want to say here is that when it comes to micellar water as an entire category, I genuinely think not everyone may need it. There, I said it. I don't think it's a product that is necessary for everybody. If you're buying it to remove your makeup, oh my goodness, I would highly recommend a cleansing balm or a cleansing oil in place, or even Lancome's Bifacil. Products like that are so much more effective for removing any makeup. And if you don't have any problems with your water supply or your skin is fine and dandy, there may be no reason for you to go out and buy a micellar water and add it into your routine. On the other hand, if you've been sitting through this video thinking, wait a minute, I do have some issues with my skin and I do have hard water, is this something I should try? And in particular, I've tried everything else. You may really benefit from trying micellar water. And the most honest way I can say this, again, game-changing for me personally, but in terms of what micellar water should you buy, I gotta be honest with you guys that so far I really, really like this micellar water, and yet I think it's for dry skin, and in particular, I think it's for dry and sensitive skin. Everything they were saying in the description in terms of no irritating ingredients, strengthens barrier function, I think this can be really helpful if you're somebody who does, again, have more sensitive skin normally, or even if you have sensitive skin temporarily because you did something like, I don't know, overdid your AHAs. Been there many times myself, do not feel bad if that is the case. Now, on the other hand, because it does have an oily / milky texture to it, if you have more oily skin, you may be just fine with a Bioderma micellar water. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.